Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Mohamad Ammar bin Azizan, and my metric number is 278642, and this is my teammate, which is Ahmad, Saifuddin, Nura, Rahima, and Nur Syahirah, and group name is AOS. Our topic is topic 8, range, variance, and standard deviation for ungroup data. So what is ungroup data? Ungroup data is the data gathered from the experiment or study. The data is raw, that is not sorted into categories, classified, or otherwise grouped. In this project, we decide to do GUI-based program to calculate range, variance, and standard deviation of ungroup data. For variance and standard deviation, we calculate sample and population. These are the interface that we use in the program. First of all, enter the data into the input box. That data should be spread by comma. After that, click the button size, or range, or population variance, or population standard deviation, or sample variance, or sample standard deviation to calculate the data that we want. After that, it will shown in the output box below. And now I will pass it to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello to everyone. My name is Ahmad Saifuddin bin Ilias with metric number of 277838. I will be presenting about the source code for our program that involves topic 8, range, variance, and standard deviation for ungroup data. The source code is divided into 5 parts, which are range, sample variance, population variance, sample standard deviation, and population standard deviation. I will show all the coding parts for all of it, but I will not explain more about it since there will be a few explanations about it later from the members of this group. This is the coding part for range. You may pause at these codings if you need to. This is the coding part for sample variance. I will be talking about this part later. This is the coding part for population variance, where I will also be talking about it later. This is the sample standard deviation coding part. As usual, pause if you need to. Last but not least, the coding part for population standard deviation. We will discuss into it much further later in this video. So, stay tuned.
My name is Nura Rahima Binti Muhammad Ariff. My metric number is 278103. Range in statistics. The range is defined as the difference between the highest and the lowest value. This is the sample input that we use to run the program. Input code segment. This code segment will allow user to enter input. It uses array list to hold data from the user. The message "Please enter numbers separated by a comma" will pop up on user interface. Highest and lowest code segment. This segment code will determine the highest and lowest value from the input that user have entered. For the first loop, it will determine the highest value by comparing the current values than the previous value. For the second loop, It will determine the lowest value by comparing the current value to the previous value. Range code segment. In this code segment, variable range declared as double. To get the value of the range, the highest value will minus the lowest value. End of range part. Let's move on to the next part.
I am Nur Syahirah Binti Noorazizan, metric number 281158, presenting standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Standard deviation is a calculation that determines how evenly distributed data is. There are two types of standard deviation, which is ungrouped data and group data. There are two types of symbol and formula for ungrouped data, which is sample and population. This is the source code for user to input mean data by the separate comma. Before calculate the standard deviation, it needs to calculate the variance first. This is the formula in source code for population and the sample. After calculate the variance, they need to square root to get the standard deviation. This is the output range for this program. This is the output for variance population for this program. This is the output for variance sample for this program. This is the output for standard deviation population for this program. This is the output for standard deviation sample for this program. This is the output for size for this program. That's all from me. Thank you.
That's all from us from Group AOS. Thank you for watching and stay safe everyone.